noise, right? So it's difficult to make a video.
But a big birthday party bash tomorrow.
Yay! But I will make it happen. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a party. Cannot wait. Yeah. All right. And then I'm gonna have the worst headache because yeah. NQ, I don't know what to say. You know, it's NQ. We have nothing in between of these two lines. So for me, it's a bit in the middle of nowhere. So I don't like NQ. We are getting extended from the trend. Okay, since Thursday, May 21st, we are respecting this upward trend line. So we're getting extended from it. Again, I would not buy, but you know me, right? So you do you, but it's going up. It's still going up, but we might pull back and hit one of these lines. Wow, that's a lot of unicorn. That's beautiful. It's like a 300 points move. It's true. It's just that, I mean, on the top side, I'm not worried about NQ making 500 points. It's just on the bearish side that I'm worried about. Yes. So ES, I have beautiful double top on ES right there in the 8 a.m. candle. So ES, I have the trend 75.40 again. I don't have a level in between. I will remove this one. I will just leave the gap level. But they behave a little bit differently these days. We have an incoming potential trend break on RTY, so I will be on the look for this. It's a beautiful trend. We have multiple touches on this one, so it's a juicy trend to look for a break, potentially. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, guys, the trend break, 1 a.m. Well, kind of one at 11 p.m. last night. The rejection of the 200 SMA, we lose trend, and then the price is just respecting the 200 SMA. So you can use this as your stop loss. Look at the reaction. So we break the 200, and then when we do this, we have to make a decision. So action candle, reaction candle. So the low of this could be a trade, but here we have a trend in the way. So it's not the best, but you could enter here and from trend to trend. Jesus. So we had another test on, so we're testing 75. And if we keep below it, we could go back to the support we have or the other trend. Why not?
Why not?
So silver, I'm more bearish oriented too. Microbit, we were watching that level yesterday, the trend break and then the level. So I will be more short oriented for Bitcoin. We could go back to 74,750 on this. But we have to stay below 76,060.
So I have a lower wider on microbit, and that area you're talking about, so really nice, was where my L4 is on a lower wider. So I think that would be a nice target too, and then maybe bounce from.
So yeah, the trend is, we expect a reaction, a bounce from it. I just heard that my kids are on a screen right now.
Party time.
Yeah. Mommy can hear everything. Apple. Ooh, Apple trend break. Beautiful. So now we have the opposing trend line. Can you please? Yes. Okay, as long as we stay contained, we can go back to the other trend and potentially break this one too. But the first step is 307-ish.
Yeah, all-time highs is real. Like, wait till you look at MU. Like, thing is nuts. Like, remember MU, $30 ticker we used to trade? $1,000 almost.
Oh, Sam.
Sam, are you still holding MU? Didn't you get long in some MU or something?
Yeah, I bought it down in Florida.
Yeah, I remember that.
After I heard some report, it was at $600, and I'm like, some analysts think it was going to go to 1,000, and I thought, things were blowing up then for other chip makers and that entire space. I don't know everything that there is to know about MU, but yeah, my gosh, I was laughing this morning when I looked at the pre-market. I just couldn't believe it.
But I mean, you're only $600 was only like not long
2
ago.
days ago?
I mean,
it wasn't even a full 30 days ago.
Like, I don't even understand like that. I used to trade this ticker when it was double digits. I mean, it is wild.
The report on how didn't they double?
Whichever analyst said MU to 1,000, he's a winner. Like, he or she is a winner, right? Like, good job. Jesus.
Yeah, one day that's something I want to do, like maybe read more about stuff and, getting in these amazing trades.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So MU, up we go. We have this trend line. So that's what I have for it. And then we have the high. So if we want to go higher, we need to take the high. AMD. Oh, AMD looks beautiful for a retracement on the trend line that we have here. And we don't need this and this. AMD is on fire also with the chip, I guess. So yeah, but now we could catch the trend, pull back to it or near it. Amazon looks a bit weak. We're staying below PDC, below the 200 SMA on the 1 hour. So we could go back to 262 or 259-ish. Okay, that's the range play that we have. And now it looks weaker because if we come back to the level here, we have a higher probability of breaking down, since this time we are not going all the way up. Okay, we made a lower high right here. Okay, so weak sauce alert potential.
Weak sauce alert. I love that.
Same, Google might be coming back to PDC or lower. Mara, if we lose 14.19, we could go short. If we hold it, we go higher. And where is, so yesterday we were watching this. Is it yesterday? No, when is it? No, it's not yesterday. So we broke the monthly downtrend on Mara. And now, yeah, so we're trending up. So we might be getting a bit too far from this. So if we are starting to sell, that could be a region where we go back to.
Definitely
we
seem
need
to be selling a bit on our on some stuff here, like a little bit leading into the open. RTY might finally be breaking that uptrend that it's been so excited about for days.
Yeah. Breaking alert on RTY.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, but
Not yet, but looking interesting.
looking good. And I would use this trend as my stop loss if I enter this soon. Also, the 90 EMA is not bad for a stop loss, but it's going to match this. So the 200 is there on the 5-minute. It's a beautiful spot. I wish I had buying power.
There's never enough. There's never enough buying power. Like, I don't care. I want
I
all
need
the
to
money.
wait 15 minutes to get some buying power back. And I need to close part of my positions because if not, I get margin calls. Jesus, the life of a small account. All right, so Google is weak. Mara, we looked at it. So Mara is 14.19 approaching, which is the level in play for it. Meta is a piece of crap. It's so ugly. Like, I'm not interested in this. And I mean, yeah, we could go back down if we lose a 200, that region right here. We have a support at 608-ish. Okay, so we have this going on. So if we lose that support, we could go back to this region or lower. But yeah, it's very, the price action is ugly.
Yeah, this is a really bad price range too for cams because we're in a higher, wider, but we're in between L3 and L4, which is, it can be kind of a kill zone. We're like right on top of the 1 hour 200 also. So we could really chop right here quite a bit on this one.
Yeah, so Meta is out of the.
Yeah,
It's been
Meta's not my
trading
buddy.
very, very ugly the last few weeks.
It had one like solid, like, I mean, like month or so where it went into play and lost a lot of value. And then lately it just kind of got stuck. It's like doing nothingness.
I mean, it dropped so much. It's still digesting, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had the trend break yesterday morning on Microsoft. And then we could head back to this one right there, or 401. Netflix is approaching 86.50, so that's a support. So we expect the price to bounce. Okay, every time we're having a reaction here, we try to go below, and we said, well, it looks more bullish because they had the opportunity to back test and go lower, and they reclaimed the level, held, went higher, and no, it's not strong enough. Okay, so 86.50, I would be more oriented to short the retest below 86.50 than to long it, seeing that story that Netflix did. It should have held higher, and it could not. Okay, it's okay to pull back, but you pull back on the 61.8 and you continue your journey up, and it's not what happened. So we bounce on the 60. This is a daily Fibonacci retracement. We bounce on the 61.8, and we just could print a lower high. We couldn't like continue that move up. So weak sauce alert also on Netflix. And now our buddy here. So how come NVDA is selling when it's not making chips anymore? What's going on? So MU is like taking over the world and NVDA is selling?
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
What happened? So indices, Samuel, we are watching the RTY breakdown. We are watching for a potential break of the trend on RTY. But we are very near the open, so I would not touch anything personally.
Sorry, Dr. V.
Yeah.
I know we have moved on to equities, but I'm not sure if I missed anything on gold. I've just noticed we've lost the trend line I had from a while ago at 44.20. Could you give us your thoughts on gold, please?
My thoughts on gold are love, because I'm short way up there. Oh my God. So gold is bearish. Now we are getting extended. So, but I would orient myself with selling a rally on gold. The next level we have is around 43.50. Okay, around this trend line, I expect a reaction there, but we are more bearish oriented on gold. Jesus, guys, finally, since Friday, I'm waiting for a melt on metals. Yes, it's happening. You, thank you for my birthday. And apparently, so gold is expiring, okay? And my trade is still open. So my broker wrote me saying, hey, we are expiring on May 27th on your gold trade. So I'm just seeing what will happen because I'm trading the one exclamation mark. So let's see what IBKR does with my position. Okay, I never had the experience. Usually before I was trading the month contract, the monthly one. Now it's the continuous chart. So I'm pretty sure they're going to close my position, but let's see what happens.
They don't roll it, and it's actually expiring on your birthday. That's so bizarre.
It's May 28th.
I hope it gives you a good present.
Well, so far so good. Thank you, Tia. So far so good. I'm making a good chunk on this one. I'm so happy. Finally. I mean, unrealized, right? NVDA. So it's again like being stepped out on that gap crap and for after just melting, like it's so frustrating, but it is what it is. I would watch the because it looks weak, okay, and we bounce on the trend line, but not quite, okay, so that trampoline might be tired, okay, of bouncing price. So let's see how we react to this. But I would be more in the idea of shorting a trend break than buying a trend bounce because we have this happening right after. So set your alert on the trend,
Mhm.
potentially breaking down. PLTR, so if we stay below 134.56, we could go back lower to potentially 131.
And I just wanted to say good morning to everyone who's joining us in on the stream.
Yeah, good morning.
Nice to see everyone. This is a little sneak peek behind the curtain at Market Alchemists. This is what we do in the mornings. Since we broke 1,000K, 1,000. 1,000K would be amazing. That'd be like a million or something. But since we broke 1,000 or 1K, we really appreciate that. So we told you if we did that we would stream out our live session in the morning just to give everyone a little glimpse of what's going on now. So we are doing that right now. So hope you're enjoying.
All right, so PLTR broke this trend yesterday evening. Then we broke the 200 SMA. We kind of went back to it, wicked above it, and then rejected it. And we also closed below the support that we had. So 134.56 is the level. And I would be looking for a bearish continuation on this, of course. So looking for a pullback to short. Tesla is reclaiming this trend that it's not good anymore. So now Tesla has this high. So 452-ish. And we are uptrending beautifully. So Tesla is a great stock. It really trends beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
It's very beautiful. Like I'm connecting this low with this low, and look at the reaction right here, everything following the line very nicely. Tesla is a great stock.
Tesla also, for the equity tickers, runs a very reasonable ATR, like $16.50, which, one of the things when you're trading equities, one of the major downfalls to trading equities is generically a relatively low ATR in comparison. This is why a lot of us like futures, because you get a really nice ATR comparatively with your leverage. Tesla is one of the ones that kind of a little best of both worlds if you're into the equities.
Mm-hmm.
Adams Trades on YouTube says, whoa, Dr. V's chart reminds me of a Pink Floyd concert. Trend lines, hashtag trend lines, hashtag comfortably numb, hashtag love it. That's a great comment.
I love it. I mean, yeah, if trends can remind you of a rock concert, I love it.
Mine's more like an EDM one, like, no.
So Tesla between 447 and 452, we expect sellers to show up in this little rectangle right there. And of course, we should hold trend. If we break trend, that's yummy to the downside. So, ooh, go platinum.
Let's go platinum.
Yay, finally, after all this choppy thing.
Platinum is beautiful. Good job. And look at that. Someone's getting this done. I'm telling you, it's happening. Green line, here we come. Right? Are you going? Is that where your target is?
Yeah, the trend. I mean, I have this in the way, so we'll see.
Yeah, got this.
And the orange is telling me what to do also. I'm going to make it closer.
You know what? Average does not work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was a gift right there, right? I pull up my chart and I see this candle rejecting the 200 SMA. Guess who's in as soon as we make a new low? Like
Jesus. I mean,
like me, I'm in.
The 200 SMA. I mean, Jesus. I'm
and
actually
following this
I'm short
trend,
ES
right?
right now. I'm short ES right now. So
Good job. What about RTY? RTY is messing up with the. What time is it? 9:28.
9:28.
So
We're
not
gonna
yet.
open in a minute.
So RTY not yet, but it's setting up.
We're gonna see if I get frustrated again at the open. See if I get one of my good pre-market positions ruined by the open or not.
I mean, so many times it happened to me. I'm so done with this. Like, I'm so done trading like close to the open.
I
It's
know there's part of me that's like maybe I should just. I mean, I got in at H4 on ES when it pulled, earlier. So I've just been kind of holding, but it's like this nice little gentle move down, just taking forever, and then at the open is gonna go yoink. So.
And we have a trend in the way right here.
Yeah. So.
The PDC trend 75.40 is in the way. We'll see. I mean, it could just go through everything, but the open is so mean.
So mean.
80% of the time, right?
So we'll see if I survive this open. If we do, then maybe I'll have a relatively easy Wednesday. If not, then we'll see what happens. We'll have to struggle a little bit.
Okay, we will watch party with you. But for the minute before the open, just grounding ourselves. So we will do the Jacobson method of squeezing the muscles. So something that you can do at your desk when you need to regulate. So we start by squeezing the feet, the legs as hard as possible. If you want to look it up on Google, the Jacobson method to relax the nervous system. So you squeeze your legs as hard as possible, and then you let go. You can keep your eyes open for the watch party on Taurus Trade, or you can close your eyes if it's easier for you. I will keep my eyes open. Oh, it's 9:30! Ding, 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 ding. And then we want to do the same thing with the stomach. So we want to squeeze, like bring your belly button to the spine. So squeeze, bring the belly button to the spine and exhale at the same time. Squeeze your abs. It's an ab class, guys. Okay, and then you just relax. Now you squeeze your butt. Squeeze that cute little butt as hard as you can. What is that? And you let go. It's hard to squeeze the butt. And you let go. I mean, when you're sitting down.
Yeah.
Now the arms. Wow, that open is so calm. What is going on?
Well, as long hopefully just not like going to start rallying, and that's all that matters.
It's so calm.
It was a very calm open.
It's doing the Jacobson method with us.
Yeah, it's tensing, now releasing.
Oh.
It's calm because we are on a short, that's why it's calm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so now we do the same with the hands. So we squeeze the fist, the arms very, very hard. We squeeze, we squeeze, we squeeze. We let go. Whew. And lastly, the face, which is hard, but try to squeeze your face, like make some weird faces. I don't know, I need to squeeze my arms when I do that. And you let go.
That's my normal trading face.
All right. Have a good one, guys. And I will see you at 11, right?
Yeah, see you at 11 o'clock.
Not sure I will do the whole thing.
No, just do it,
But yeah, see you.
See you, bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, and we will be on so we are now going to transition a little bit here. So give me one moment as we stop one share and start another. And we will bring up screen 4 here on the stage. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having an amazing day. It is good to see everyone. You should be able to see my screen now. As you can see, I am short ES in the pre-market. So we are in a lower narrow range, but basically in the pre-market, we had already run all the way to H4 and we had hit H4 right here. and then we sold down. And as we sold down, we had this big news squeeze that popped us up, and then we immediately sold back into range. So I went ahead and got short, put my stop up above the high, because if this ran the high and broke up, that would have been too bullish to stay in. And that was it. So once we lost the 200, I brought my stop to break even. And now that we are here, I'm basically just starting my trail process, which my trail process right now for this, the end of the month, is actually trailing the 200. So we have transitionary periods that happen. So you can see here, we kind of transitioned up here, lost this, came through, lost, and then we bought off the 200. And you see, once we lost it, that kind of stops our move. So I'm just going to kind of hang in here. This is a narrow range. So this could turn into an L4 short. If it does, then I want to target ATR L6. And that's going to be our move. And we're in, right? So let's see what we get out of this thing. See what we can do today. See if we can get this whole move. So if this goes into a squeeze or goes into a rally, we'll get out of this thing, and then we'll watch NQ. NQ sitting, a little under H4. So how's everybody doing today? All right, now that we got that done, I can get the Zoom back up for my people. We'll do no video, but we can still do microphone. We don't need to record, though. All right. All right, Zoom. We can also share. Oh, I love this setup because I can do so much. All right, so we have the Zoom open for our mentees. So if y'all have any questions, mentees, you can ask me directly in the Zoom. That way, or on the YouTube. If you have a chance, like and share the YouTube. Everybody on the YouTube, good to see you. Don't forget to like, share if you can. Let everybody know we're live streaming the open today. So this is what everyone on YouTube wanted, right? So SMA, 1 minute. So we got this thing going for you. So make sure you like, share, tell some friends, help me out. We are kind of, we normally are on from 11 to 12. We are still going to do 11 to 12 today, and it's with Dr. V today. So we've got our brains day, or back to the futures, as we like to say, right? So we have our back to the future segment today at 11 to 12. So yeah, good to see everybody. Lex, good to see you. How about everybody in the Zoom? So I'm not streaming the Zoom out. So you guys, anyone in the Zoom, you can talk or whatever. No one will hear that. So, or whatnot, ask questions in the chat, whatever you want to do. So I'm still very short ES, and I'm just kind of optimistic. Maybe this thing just sells off all day and runs out ATR low. Is that too much to ask, Tyler? Can I just have one? Can I just have one, like just this trade? So check it. So this is what I was thinking. You can see right here, right? We tested the 4th level like beautifully, right? And then we had like the news come in, and when the news came in, we ripped all the way up through the level, made the top, and then came back down inside, right? So once this came in and pulled back a little bit, I just got in short there and through. I mean, if it ran the top, it would have been a full-on breakout, right? So it was a really nice spot to give it a shot. So, but I mean, look how far and how fast we moved in such a short period of time. I mean, that seemed like manipulation to me, and it worked out. Yeah, thank you, man. Did I say higher narrow? I must have typed it wrong. Shoot, I meant higher narrow. Oh well. We'll see how much people are paying attention, because they'll and they'll start commenting. NQ's the wider. Oh, wow. Holy NQ. Jesus. What a sell. Let's go, Angel. Angel short NQ. Wow. All right. Look at that candle. Like, look at that 1 hour candle. Like, look at what we've done in just like since the open. That's brutal. All right. Yeah, I see it. I mean, we're here, right? So the thing I like is that, you know, we're in narrow ranges, so we should not stay inside. So, but I mean, now the scary part is that means we certainly could rally all the way back up through my stop and take me out. But that's okay. Like at this point, we're in, right? So we only have one option now, which is just to manage the trade, right? At this point, I don't get to decide what I think is going to happen. I just know right now I want to give this trade as much opportunity as possible because it's a narrow range and we've already ran the top side cam and now we're selling back to the center. So like coming down, like this is coming off to me as being a sweep, right? We kind of set the high, then we swept the high and now we're selling. I would not expect to come sweep the high again today, right? So, but this is the US futures, right? Or these are futures based on the US equity market. So anything's freaking possible in this market. Like, you know, I mean, I think everyone on YouTube, everyone in this room, I think we would all agree that it makes no sense that the market is this high. So guess what? Stop trying to make it make sense. I actually kind of had this realization yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I was like sitting around, just like I was sitting on my back porch, sipping like it was in the evening, so having a decaf coffee. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, what is this market doing? And then I thought to myself, why do I care? Like I don't know. Why am I like suddenly deciding that I want to become some kind of wild market aficionado? Like I really just want to make some money hitting some buttons and call it a day. You know, but it's really easy to get swept up in the why. But the why is irrelevant. Like, who cares why? You know, it's just what's happening. Are we going up? Okay. Are we going down? Okay. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's a good target. I mean, the thing here's the deal. Like, the lower this goes, the lower it can go. I mean, it's a higher wide range. Sure. I'm not with this kind of selling, I'm not expecting a bounce at L3. Not that it can't happen, right? It could bounce L3, come back to the mid, right? L3 is a very reasonable target. If anything, ATR low is at L4, right? So you've got some space here. And the advantage of using the buying and selling detector, right? So, you know, right now, look, you can see, use the zero line. Whenever we're above the zero line, that's a buying phase. Whenever we're below it, it's a selling phase. Above it, and if we're at it, it's a consolidation. So look, you can actually read the market phases with the buying and selling detector. Buying phase, consolidation. Buying phase, consolidation. Buying phase, consolidation. What's that? Exhaustion, right? There's our exhaustion. Buying phase winds out, boom, selling phase. First time. Right? There's been no selling phases other than like right here, we sold a little bit. But you can see how sporadic it was. It wasn't a very like good selling phase, right? Selling phase, right? So we are selling. Like, so don't assume that because we are selling, right? No, don't. I wouldn't long right now. Like, it's not a long. Not that it can't be a long, right? This is NQ, but it's not a long right now. Right now we're selling. We're trending well below the 9. Like this needs to buy the 9. This needs to, I mean, we could be potentially exhausting a bit, right? Because we are certainly overcooking things. Woo. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to go out here. All right, so my thought being here is we've opened, we've created a high, we've then sold away from the high. So if we come down here and we buy and then come up and buy the central pivot, the open, and then the high of day, that is insanely bullish. And if I end up getting stopped out on that, then it reverses, it comes down like, oh well, right? Like I can't control whatever madness that would be. But you can see we kind of bought off of this ridge, right? This low level right here. We should never come back inside of that order, right? So this is a nice spot to be. So on this narrow range, we're going to sit here. Now, everybody, this is, I mean, look, we're doing pretty good so far today, right? We're up 3. But no matter what happens, we're gonna make like a K today. You know what I mean? So no bigs, right? Like no matter, so, and this is like a different trading style than, like for those of you who are, hey, thanks, Baghdad. For those of you on YouTube who are watching and everyone, I know it's a different trading style, but I don't partial because I trail, right? Don't do both. Like some people partial and trail. Like why? Like just trail, right? Because you're going to carry more of your position longer and then just have a reason to get out. Wow, here we go. So, I mean, how's NQ looking for you? Did I not say, for those of you who are in the mentoring community, for those of you who are in the mentoring community, did I not say that today NQ short back to the top side of 30,000? What I don't know if there's anyone in the YouTube that was that can verify that, but I totally said if we cough from here, we should go to 30,000. Boom. There it is, 30,000. There's just a big order sitting here on the order book. It's a very big level, 30,000. Super. But look at this 1 hour. I mean, really, it's a half hour. But look at that. Look at that candle. Yikes. That's a bloodbath, that candle. All right. So this would be a spot where I would expect a bounce. Right? I don't think we're going to reverse here, but we're at L3 on a higher, wider on NQ, and we've exhausted our sellers. So it is very likely we're going to get a bounce here, likely reoffer the CP. So just keep an eye on that. If you're, if you are short on NQ, you may want to just be out. We did not open in the right place for this to be a cam call. We opened too high. If this was going to call the third level, it would have had to have opened under the CP. But this is but if you're on NQ, this would have been probably you could exit here, but I don't expect this to be the bottom. I think we likely will continue to sell down through ATR low. So, but just I want you to be aware. Right, it's very important that you're aware, right, of what's going to happen. It's not I don't expect a reversal here, but because we've exhausted and we've hit a support cam, right, I'm expecting us to bounce a little bit here and then continue, right? Wow, Angel. So everyone that's out in, hey Angel, do you mind if I share this? On the okay, I wanted to ask before I just blasted your trades. So for everyone who's out on the YouTube, I just wanted you guys and gals to see this beauty. So this is one of our rock stars in the Alchemists. He really is like one of the killer trend traders. Dr. V and like this guy. I mean, he took some of her teachings and everything and put it all together, and it's just been a rock. But I wanted you to see here, notice, look at this beautiful set, pulls back, he's in short, stops probably above the high, and look at this hold all the way. I mean, Jesus, what a trade. What a rock star trade that is, right? Boom, that's what we do. Well, I was going to ask you, here's our guy, NT. Took one stab at H4, and then it went up, exhausted, came back down, he's back in. And then look at but it's the holds, right? It's the holds that do it, people. I mean, this is what I want you to see. This is what we do, right? We get out. We take small losses, right? One contract in, one contract out, no problem. Paper cut, right? Exhaustion in, right? Exhaustion on the BSD, he's in. Bam! Look at the sell, look at the hit. Ballers. All right, we're doing this thing. So now I've got this. So Lex, those are just trades those are just our people. So the Market Alchemist is very blessed. We've got Dr. V, obviously, and Dr. V has, gets us performance oriented, right? We know we can't make money if we don't let the winners run. And we've just accepted that. And it's hard, but we suffer together as a community. We get in these trades, we hold. And as you can see, again, I'm in a trade right now. We're hitting support areas. Am I like, oh my God, I'm like, you'll see if this squeezes and comes and takes me out, I'll be annoyed because I'm a human being, right? But at the same time, it's just part of the process. Like this should not buy the high. So I'm willing to say that's enough. But other than that, this is a narrow range and this market is selling. Look at this beautiful little reoffer on the buying and selling detector. This beautiful pull right back to the 0 line. So now that we're in a selling phase, we're expecting to oscillate between the 0 line and basically the higher level selling line, right? And we'll just kind of notice again, you can kind of see how we went from buying phases, right? Sold for a little bit, squeezed, buying, and then selling, right? So right now we're still in a selling phase. Unless we start buying again, I want to hold this thing as much as I can. As long as we're selling, I want to be in. If it starts to buy, then we'll get out. But it needs to buy like the open. You know what I mean? Like I'm not so sensitive here that I'm okay with giving back $1,000 to give this the opportunity to run out and make me a couple more. You know what I mean? So just consider this risk. You know what I mean? It does, if this rallies and goes into some wild squeeze, which is what this market does all the freaking time, it is what it is. But other than that, I'm kind of reading how weak the market is right now. We had an exhaustion event at the higher end cam, right? If we were going to break out, why not break out there? Why the big wind up? You know what I mean? And we swept the top side. We went to the ask, and now we're coming to the bid to make a delivery, right? This feels more like distribution than accumulation to me in this moment of the day. So I want to stay aligned with being short if I can. Yes, sir. Yeah. If we had have opened under the CP, it would be a long, and it may still be a long, right? It's just like but for me, so I'm playing ES, not NQ. So for me, I have to play the chart that's in front of me. And since it's a narrowed range, I'm not expecting a bounce here. But on NQ, it could come all the way back to the CP, like no problem. Right? It's actually, if anything, that's what's expected. Right? That we'll bounce off the S3 or L3 area and we'll come back up towards the CP. Since we're selling, we'll likely sell back down through L3. But we're still going to get the bounce here. That's kind of like why I was even saying that kind of like, what was it, like 5 minutes or so ago? I was like, get ready, like L3, we'll probably see a bounce here. So you can't let it freak you out. Although if I was in a big short on NQ, it might be enough, especially if you netted some good money. Just take it. You know what I mean? Hit the cam level. Yeah, it's like starting at 8:30. It's basically like its own little mini open kind of at 8:30 where we get all the manipulation, all the balancing stuff happens, all the reconciliations happen, and we normally get a lot of news right around that time. It works. Hey, what's up? Nathan in the house on the YouTube. What's up, dude? Good to see you. So we're just holding now. It's, one heck of a pullback. But, we got really far away from the 200. So it's just really not surprising. But look at that, right off the L3 on ES too. Yoink. That's awesome. So look for the pullback to the central pivot, and then we'll look for the sellers to kick back in right here. So this is like yesterday's close along with the CP is right at this area. So now we're reoffering yesterday's close to the buyers to see if buyers are willing to buy this level. If they do, then we might squeeze, right? So, but for me, well, I mean, we'll see. There's really no way to know. Right, for me, because we've been selling more on a narrower range, I'm expecting a continuation, not a reversal here. But my expectations and what the market gives me are not necessarily the same thing. One other issue too, and you know, we've noticed this in the community a lot, is that we get these unusually large retracements right now. So and it's about 50%, which is crazy. So this is the beginning of the move. That's the end of the move, right? So the 50% retracement is way the hell up here, right? So, but NQ and ES have been doing these just massive retracements and then selling. It's one of the reasons I've started trailing the 200 because I needed a wider trail because the 50 SMA was too close to deal with the retracements. So right now I'm where I'm at now because basically we would buy the CP, the open, and the high of day, right? And so if we do all of that buying, then I'm gonna call this strong. You know what I mean? At least in the moment. And then if it bounces, goes back to H4, if it sets up again and then gets weak, maybe I can re-short, or maybe I'll get long. So we'll see. But right now it should not buy high of day. If we buy high of day, then that's what's going to get me out. And I'll still make I think I still make $1 grand or so at high of day, which is still a nice, I mean, it's not a bad paycheck for a couple hours worth. If you can consider this to be working. Hanging out with my trading peeps and slinging some trades. Man, NT, I'm stoked with your NQ hit, man. You've had a couple really solid hits in the past couple weeks. Yeah. So and then the hold though, man, like so the YouTubes can't hear you talking, but the hold is what is really amazing here because for you guys who don't know our guy NT, he's who just took this trade right here. I'll show you the trade. This guy used to be a chronic overtrader, like all the trades, like that chart would have had like 50 arrows on it, and now this dude's just like gangster, like just baller hold. I mean, my God, dude, like good job. He's a baller. That's amazing. So and that's wild too, right? Like it just actually like moved and that, but remember like back in the day, even a directional move like that, we would have been terrified to hold. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, it's going lower, it's going lower. I just need to partial. I just need to partial. And now you're just like, oh, that was actually pretty kind of easy. Like nice directional move there till the third level. Like, thank you very much for your time and effort. Exactly. So what's up on YouTube? Any good trades going out there to our YouTube peoples? How are y'all doing? We got our guy Nathan in there. I mean, it looks like we're kind of bouncing off of L3 right now on NQ. A little amazing. NQ has the wide range, so this totally fits. But it's a, you know, and your ATRs are in the right spots too. I still like the idea of being short. So here's the thing though on NQ for me. This is why I would not be long on NQ. We're in a selling phase. You know what I mean? Like this started selling right here. You can see it on the buying and selling detector, and we've been selling ever since. And that's something if you guys don't use cams, use the buying and selling detector. It will. I'm not going to say it will save your trading career because that seems super arrogant. It might. It might. Like if you find like you're not a person who does really good with buying and selling, like reading volume and price, and you're really like this is really more of a short at the CP opportunity, I think, for a range for a run out the bottom. So, but you can see with the buying and selling detector, like you wouldn't long this because you're in a selling phase right now. Like you can see this one, we bought, consolidated, bought, consolidated, bought, consolidated, exhausted, right? Lost steam and then started selling, right? So for the first time, we're in a selling phase. And it's rare that it just goes selling, buying, right? We normally go buying, consolidating, exhaustion, right? So we need selling, consolidating. We haven't even consolidated yet, right? Which is kind of what we're doing right now, I'd imagine. Right, so it did exhaust a little on the sell side, and that's what could be the issue here, Dalton, is we did get some exhaustion on the sell side as well, but we haven't had enough movements, right? Like this had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this has had so many movements in this phase where we really haven't had the opportunity to really sell that much. But we'll see. Maybe this is just a grab. Maybe we just sold down to grab liquidity, and then we're going to rally back up. But until we get above the 0 line, I'm still going to read this as more of a sell. But if you got long here, it's a great spot to be. I would sit with my stop. You can put your stop right here. And as long as it doesn't come back through and run you out, I mean, it's a great trade. I'm just going to sit here in my little ES trade, and we'll just close our eyes, cross our fingers, and hope it works, right? Nothing we can do after that, right? All we can do is just kind of, so I have this analogy that I really like. It's I don't know, for those of you who have tried whitewater rafting before, but it's a really fun thing to do. But one thing that you really realize when you're doing whitewater rafting is once you're in the water, you really don't have a lot of say on what happens. Like you're in the torrent now, so you just let it be the torrent, and that's what it is. So you really have to kind of go with it. Anytime you try and go against it, you're not going to do well. That's kind of like what's here. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in the river. I'm just going to see what it does, and if it comes back and sweeps the high, then that'll be it. I'll be out, and we'll call it a good day. Like I said, we'll still make some good money today. But, I mean, buying all the way through the open and then the high, that would be incredible. Yeah. So we got a few people here this morning out on the YouTube. Where is everybody YouTubing in from today? Is there anybody to the channel that this is your first time coming to or checking out the channel? Because of the earlier time frame, you're seeing it being offered, and you're like, oh wow, that looks interesting. So you're coming by and hanging out so that you can see me likely get my stop sweat. Utah, Nathan, Utah, huh? That's dope. All right, there we go. We just bought the open. All right. Guess I should have just taken the third level, huh? Yeah, so we're going to buying now. Look at that on ES too. Right? So this is starting to look like buying now. So that's not good. You can see we kind of we hit here and we wound up, we got into buying, we offered right there and then started buying. So we're going to be out of this in a minute. If this doesn't stop here before the high, we'll be out of it and we'll just make some money. IB high is your initial balance. So your initial balance is your 1 hour, right? So you start at 9:30, and it is your 1 hour high and low. So basically, you're going to go till 10:30, and whatever your high and low of that time period ends up being, that's going to be your IB. Right now, our IB hasn't set yet. Yeah, everything did. NQ was lovely here. We did have some exhaustion too. I'd still rather be short. It's okay. I really like being short on this. It's just a shame. I'm still actually happy with this whole. I'm very happy with this hold with the L3. I think the narrow lower range still offers plenty of downside. So I like that I let this breathe a little bit. So we'll see what happens. But if this sweeps the high, I'll be out. Because we really should not buy the high of day at this point. Like we could offer it. We could try and buy the open and then offer the high. But if we buy the high, that would be too bullish. Especially if we offer the open, then buy the high. Hey, Brendel, good to see you. No, today is a special day. We are debating actually live streaming 9:30 to 10 o'clock daily and just doing a half hour and then just keeping the rest inside the community. But we normally stream from 11 to 12. But I told everybody if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I would stream at the open and stream one of our morning sessions. So we did. And I hope everyone's enjoying it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. You know, the more we can get people here, the more enticing it is for us to put more stuff here. It would need to have opened under the, like, or within the CPR, Tyler. So like if it like between the twos. So on NQ, right, we have the CP is right here. So it needs to open somewhere like within this range for it to call. And we opened too high. We opened almost all the way at the third level and then swept L3. I know it's so technically, like, this is not a long play, right? Like I would not have bought L3. So even if this works, it's okay. I still would not have bought it, right? Because this is way too much selling, right? And this to me feels like an offer, not a rally. So what happens is when we're selling very hard, we exhaust our sellers. Let me talk a little bit about this, actually. I want to, I think this will be helpful for some of you who don't, maybe perspective-wise. So what basically happens is this, right? We buy, and then we move up. We buy, then we move up. We buy, then we move up, right? And then we top, right? So when we top, we move back down, right? But when we move down, right, we come down and we sell. But basically everybody that's selling during this initial leg of the sell are people who bought here, some people who bought here, and some people who bought here, right? But of the people who bought here, by the time we get to the low, 100% of those people will have most likely sold. Well, some people will bag hold. So let's say 95% of those people will have sold, right? But you've still got probably like 70% of these people left and like 90% of these people left, right? Then as we break here and go down, right, this becomes 100. Well, someone will bag hold. So let's call it 99, right? 99% are out, and this starts to tick up, right? So that we're getting higher, higher, higher. And so this is why the lower we go, the lower we can go, because as we get lower, old buyers, right? Old buyers become new sellers, right? But when we exhaust, those exhaustions are created because basically we've gotten rid of an entire group of sellers, right? So in order to get more sellers, you have to either go lower or go higher, right? And when you pull back up, this brings in buyers. Buyers start to buy. And then when you come back down, those buyers sell, which lets you push through the level. And then that entices this group to start selling and some more of this group, right? And then this happens on smaller to larger time frames. So as you get near the low, you start hitting these same levels, but instead of on the 1 minute, it's on the 5 minute, or in 5, it's on the hour it's on the day, it's on the week, it's on the month, it's on the year, right? The bigger you get, the larger and more firm of a participant you entice to sell. Aha. See what I mean? As if I was not demonstrating this for you in real time, right? So this is what I mean. We burned out a class of sellers, right? So let me go to the 1 hour. So right here, look. Boom. God, this is so fun. Look, so right here, see how we bought this high? We bought this high, came down through, came up and bought that high. So when we sold, that initial sell is everyone who bought that high. Right? So, but people bought here. Why? Look, it's a high. Look, here's a high. We then bought through it. We came back, we offered, and we bought it. Right? So the next spot, we don't bounce because of buyers. We bounce because we run out of sellers. This is the part that I think like everybody in retail gets wrong so fast. We think we buy because we start moving up because we find buyers. We start moving up because we run out of sellers. And the algorithm raises the price to entice more sellers. That raising price, if shorts cover, will squeeze us higher. Right? And then if we get high enough, the shorts cover, bulls start buying, and we go into rallies. Right? So there's only two ways to entice sellers. You either have to squeeze back up or you have to make a new low. Right? Making the new low brings in a seller, right? Because you're going to stop out people who bought this high, right? And you're going to bring in shorts. Right? So what happened here is we bounced here because what happened is we exhausted our prior buyers. Right? So when we say we exhaust our sellers, what we really mean is we exhaust our prior buyers. Right? They're out. Right? There's no one who has anyone who is bought in from somewhere down here. So they're not scared yet. But if we go through that level, they will get scared. Right? Right now, these people are scared. And they're watching, going, okay, well, if this gets much lower than that candle, I'm going to stop out. And this is why we will flush this level. So watch what happens now. We went through that price, came above it, tested it, came above it. We're coming down to test it now. Watch us when we flush this price. Right? It'll drop, it'll pull back up, and then push away. But that only happens if these buyers get scared. Now, these buyers may not get scared. Why? Because ATR low is right near them. Right? ATR low is 29,885. Right? So they're sitting, as these buyers are sitting, they're actually sitting under ATR low. They're down near previous day's low. So they're not so scared yet. But if this starts to get closer, they will get scared. Right? And they will start to sell in an anticipation of the level breaking, which is what causes the level to break. Aha, the market is self-fulfilling prophecy, right? When people get scared, they will start to sell. When they start to throw their market sells into the market, we will fill our limit buys on the downside with those sells, and that flushes our price. So, and that's what we're waiting for now. But look at that perfect little reoffer as we pull right back up, slightly entice, and then right back to selling. That's what I'm talking about structurally. That's what we're looking for. Right? All right, so good news. Talk about a good spot to stick a stop, huh? Are we happy with that stop placement, or are we happy with that stop placement? Right? If this goes above that high, we're definitely out of this position. right? Like this is a really lovely spot, right? We've now went to the CP. We've now offered the high of day, and we sold away from the high of day. So if we now buy the CP, the open, and the high of day, like that'll just be too indecisive for me, right? Sometimes it's not actually about being in the move, right? Sometimes if the market's too choppy and gets too indecisive, we just want to get out and call it a day, right? I'm happy to make, what I'm going to make on this thing. It'll still be like $1,500, maybe $1,200. Still a nice day. You know what I mean? But what I don't want to do is sit here all day long, getting in and out and micromanaging positions that really just are no longer working, right? We already got we already got a massive transitionary move, right? From here all the way down to here, right? So maybe that's all we get today. Now I need to let it breathe because we have the potential of going down here, but I have to also recognize that maybe today we consolidate a little bit more. So maybe we squeeze, go back to the 200, right? Then chop and then come back down, right? I just don't want to be that involved in this, right? Good times. Thank you, AA. I'm glad you enjoyed the explanation, right? So this is, this is just, once you start to, my goal, I guess, as I want to say this, and everyone inside the Alchemists kind of get this, on a kind of a daily kind of basis, is my goal here is not really to teach you a strategy. It's to help you develop your own strategy using one of ours maybe as a framework. But ideally, we're going to help you develop your own. The real reason I'm here is I want to teach you mechanically and fundamentally how to actually read and interact with the market, right? To like understand, like this is market auction theory. This is participation. These are people. You know what I mean? It's a lot of the times when we look at this, we look at it like it's a video game. And there's not real people making real weird random decisions all over the place, but that it's not governed by some giant algorithm that's really doing it, because both of those things are true. We're governed by a giant algorithm and we have random people doing random things all over the place. So between the two, like right now, what I can imagine is going to happen if we don't sell here soon is we're going to do a UTAD, which is an upward thrust after distribution. We're going to wick through IB high. We're going to take me out, run and probably hit the 200 SMA, then go back into the sell, right? So that's okay if that happens. This is just expected stuff that this thing does when it can't. Because right now, what it wants, it would appear from the watching the algorithm right now, it looks like it's trying to entice sellers. Every time we push up, we're pushing up on kind of strained volume. It seems very struggled. When we buy, we bought very high and then responded with a premium sell, right? So it seems like we're trying to entice sellers, like we're not really so interested in buying. But if people won't sell, it's going to keep enticing. It'll just keep going up and up and up until it finds the sellers. And if it finds buyers in the process, then we'll just start buying. And that's basically what keeps happening in the market right now. People get short. The market drops, it starts to go up, people get out, they start to squeeze, and then everyone institutionally buys the swing highs, and then we make another leg up. And it's just nothing you can do about it. I mean, the market's amazing, but it's mechanically, this market was designed to drive, and it is driving. So, look at it. I'm so going to do this thing to me. What stinks is when you can see it coming, but your rules say you have to stay in. But look at it. So look at how light the volume is as this is pushing up. This is going to be such BS because this volume is so weak. It's just going to come up here and wick through this high because it knows that. So it wants buyers. So it knows that there's going to be a bunch of shorts now camping the top of this range. So there's no use to put this away and put it higher because when it happens, if it goes through this high, it's going to be a massive candle. So there's really no reason for me to hold this too tight or too loose, right? We just want to give this, we're just going to let this happen, basically. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever just known you were going to get your hand hit by something, you know, you're just gonna let it happen because you know you'll survive it and it's gonna be okay. But you can, if we go through here, if we take this high, just watch the candle that comes on this thing, and you'll see why there's no need to really put this any higher, right? Because if this runs this high, it's just gonna be like pop. It should not run the high. So if it does, then you'll see the stop out, and it's gonna be amazing. It'll be fun to watch. You'll see. And I'll still make it, and don't feel bad, right? I'm still gonna make like $1,200, $1,300 if it happens. So it's still good money, right? Still a good day. Come on, you know you want to. SMA settings for the 1 minute. The 1 minute's an EMA. I use a 200 SMA standard close, and I use a 9-minute EMA, and I use the high-low close divided by 3. Oh my God, it's like the anticipation, like just stop me out already. I'm short, so I was going for ATR or L6, Mark. Let's look at AMD. No. So AMD just did a call. It's no on the long. Okay, for anyone who's evaluating, we are this look is so 1 second. For those of you who are getting familiar with the buying and selling detector, can you give me a read on that and let me know what that says? And please don't overthink it. Yeah, it's selling, like period, right? Like this is not like exhausting. This is not like we're starting to rally. Like, this thing is selling. AMD is like it's a hard sell right now. So I would not buy this with somebody else's account. We had like no futures calls today. This one's nice. NVIDIA's a nice breakdown. NVIDIA is nice. Look at the opening sell. It then bounced off the level, but then lost the level. It then wicked up because it's a jerk, lost the level, and then came back up and reoffered. Short in here. That would be a good one. But look at the selling. This is beautiful. The VPA on this one is a lovely sell. Amazon, see the difference? Amazon was buying. We did exhaust a bit, right? But we were still in a buying phase, right? We were still buying quite a bit. We never started selling well or selling at all, actually. Same on Microsoft buying. Oracle selling. Oracle was selling, but it exhausted enough that it bounced off of L6. But I would actually prefer to be short, not long. But it ended up being a good long. Oh, AVGO. Wow. Beautiful squeeze right back to H4. Higher, wider range. H4 short. Sweet. ES is selling. Please tell me it didn't stop me out first. I'm still in. Wow. I'm so surprised. So you're saying there's a chance? No, this is just the thing it does before it like breaks my heart. But this, so I do like that. So here's kind of the thing. I do like this actually. We have the buy. The buy doesn't take us to the high, right? It takes us near the high. And then as we try and break the high, we get very little volume. We then sell. We then move to the high again, but we move on very low volume, right? So this just looks like an offer, right? Like I was talking about before. right? We're just pulling back up to offer sellers a better place to sell and try and entice buyers. But we pull up, we then consolidate, and then boom, sell. If we make a new low of day in a little bit, we will set our IB high, and that will be beautiful. All right, so wow. Okay, so we're still in. What I mean, not trying to brag on my stop placement or my profit, my take profit placement. Okay, maybe I am. It's pretty good. Like, even if this comes and gets taken out, I mean, at this point, like, feeling pretty good about it. Sup? I can. Ooh. Wow. I think it looks crazy. I also like that, like, the rest of the market has kind of done like a pullback at the same time. Maybe. It's fun spot. This is yesterday's high here too, right? It's a great spot. I like it a lot. I like that it's at H6, or it's up near above H4. It's a lower narrow. We lost the 9, so you got the 6. You know, so we're still buying a little bit, but oh, there we go. ES, come on, baby. So what are y'all thinking? Right now, I'm going for L6. It's a lower narrow range. The L4 short should still be on the table. And if we run out the low of day, I'm going to have the IB stat likely on my side. Yeah, let's do this. So I hope everyone is enjoying having us actually trading at the open today. So that was, we started around 9 o'clock. We ran, this was to say thank you so much for hitting 1,000 subs on the channel. You know, and I really hope you all like that. It's really fun getting to hang out with you guys all. So we are still going to broadcast today from 11 to 12. So I hope you will you'll be back then. I'm going to take a break in like 5 minutes. I'll take like a half-hour break. And then we'll be back on at 11. Maybe. I don't know if this trade's still going. I might just hang here and maybe we'll just keep doing our thing. NQ. Oh, really, Tyler? New low on NQ, huh? Wow. Look at those look at these 3 candles. Look at this 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. If anybody's thinking this is a good time to buy with these candles, like, I get it. It's the US, it's like the US market. However, you know what I mean? Okay, let's see if ES can do it. If ES can break IB low, we're doing this. Wall Street muted due to Middle East peace deal uncertainty. I don't like, at some point in time, people, can we stop like anticipating? You know what I mean? Like the deal. Like, can we just wait till there's a deal and then we can just like make a decision based on a deal or the deal? Like, my God, people are like, this market right now, it's like first off, like, has anybody noticed like crude's a lot lower yet anybody's prices at the gas pumps go down? No, right? Like, but that's how this whole thing works, right? The bad news comes out, the market's not going down, but then the good news comes out and the market's going up. right? Like why? Like what is the value here? We're just buying nonstop premium, right? So it's like at some point in time, like we're gonna get near expiration soon. Like, I mean, we're getting there now. We're expiring next month. We've got like 2 weeks, I think, until expiration. At some point in time, everyone who's holding contracts are going to start rolling over. And most of that at this price will not be a rollover to buy. It'll be a rollover, and then they're going to sell and stay out. So the algorithm was going to scream to the downside if that happens. So we need to be really cautious right now with the market, you know, but we've run our entire monthly range basically and got all the way to H4 in our month, and we did it. So, but oof, you know, was great watching you despite discomfort of watching market try to fake you out short, but holding to adhere to your rules. That eventually going to get, hey, of course, JBR. That's so I am here, but for one thing, and that is to, you know, to just show you this stuff, you know, like it's a different trading style. To hear myself, actually, Mark's true. Mark didn't see the middle finger I just threw. But it's true. It's really just a soapbox. No, it's really an interesting thing. You know what I mean? We wanna try and show you a different way of doing this whole like wild trading thing. You know what I mean? Opinion on NQ, how low can it go? NQ is actually like, if I was in a position short on NQ, I would have it trimmed down, you know, pretty low at this point. Like I think we could go as low as L6, maybe even the 1 hour 200 SMA, right? There's a lot of distance to the downside down here, but we've run out our entire ATR low already, which means from the start of the move at the top side here, right, we have now made our entire daily ATR of basically 500 points, right? So it's done, right? That's our move. Now, we certainly can deviate and expand a little bit, but I mean, that is one hell of a move on NQ. So ES does have some more downside, but because NQ is so near its low, it just might be all we get. Now, we have a narrowed range on ES, and we have not run out our ATRs, right? So for ES, I'm still, you know, I trade the chart that's in front of me. But is there potential that this could squeeze a little bit and, you know, maybe even run the high of day now? Of course, right? So nice baller drop, you know, but if this bounces off here and then makes the high of day, that'll be it. We'll be done, right? So, but I think, you know, and I agree with what AA is saying here. Something else to be considered, right? Well, I mean, we've still got ATR low projection on SPY. You know what I mean? But SPY is in a higher range, but it's a narrowed range. So we do have ATR. So we'll see what happens. If anything, maybe we might just get stuck chopping. Let's hope not. All right, everybody, it is 10:31. So I'm going to go ahead and put, I'm going to end the session on Alchemists. So thank you, everybody, for coming by. Don't forget, we have our 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock session today. And and then otherwise, I will see everyone on. So, hey, Mohammed, good to see you. Bye. All right, good stuff. All right, bye, people. See you tomorrow. And for everybody out on the YouTube, I am just going to put the, let's go ahead and put me back up here. Yoink. Oh, that's really small. There we go. That's more like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pause the session for a little bit. So I'm gonna put up our little be right back. So, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Hello. There's my partner in crime. What's going on, Dr. V? How are you doing on this beautiful day? Are you still very short platinum? I think is one. Oh, I don't have audio for you. No, we are missing audio for Dr. V. No. What's up, YouTube? While everyone starts coming in, we'll let Dr. V sort the audio situation.
Can you hear me now?
Got you. There you are.
Kids playing with my stuff, you know.
Perfect. I got you perfect now, though. So good
Yeah,
to see you.
I'm rocking the metals. It's melting.
I'm still
So,
short ES. So
yay!
I've been short, but kind of boring because ES. So for those out on YouTube, you can kind of see like here, like ES for me. I got into it when we went to H4. We topped there in the pre-market or the early session, and then we had news come in that ran that area. So I got short at H4 after the news, and then I've been in it. But since we opened, we've basically just been chopping this inside little range here. So I'm just hanging out, waiting to see if it ever breaks the low. If it breaks the IB low, then I'm going to try and run this out to L6 since we're on a narrow range.
So now we should lose PDC and go back to 75.18 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like, geez, like, can we just sell off already though? But it keeps holding up right off of L3. So, you know, it's doing what it does, I guess. So we'll see. We'll hang in. But platinum, like, wow.
And gold. So, update on my gold. So guys, I took a trade on micro gold 2 days ago. Yeah. And I was too close from the contract switch, but since I was taking my trade on the continuous chart, I didn't see that. So unfortunately, IBKR closed my position this morning, but it closed my position at the open when gold was just melting like crazy. So
Nice.
I made a very nice profit, and I re-entered gold on the loss of 45.55. So that was the other key level we were watching this morning. And if we reclaim 45.55, I will be out of this trade. And if we continue selling, I'll be looking for 43.40 on gold.
Beautiful. That sounds like some good spots there. Do you have your screen?
Yeah.
You
sure.
wanna share? I was thinking like we should call this like the Back to the Futures like section in here or something. Like we gotta like take this over. This needs to have like a V or a Brains Day. We need like a segment for here on 11 when you're with us. It's
yeah. So ask me anything, guys, because I have to leave at 11:30. I'm going to Florida, so I need to drive to Montreal plane.
And that's right. This is a birthday episode, technically, right? So everyone in the room, have we not said happy birthday to V yet? Like, all right, everybody sing happy birthday. 3, 2, happy. Oh, okay, no, wait.
That's okay.
Wait, I won't do that.
So I'm younger today than I will be tomorrow.
That's absolutely true. This is how this works.
So I'm presenting right now.
And you are presenting right now.
Okay. All right. So gold, my broker closed my position in this candle at 9:30. So basically at the low of the day. That was so nice. Because we have a contract switch tomorrow, and I was in a contract that was about to expire. So that was my mistake. I should have chosen the other contract, but anyways, it was a good trade. And now the setup is this. So 45.55. So it's a 1 hour support. We lost it, and I took my trade in the retest of the level. So now we should stay below the level. if we reclaim and break this red, I will be out of this trade. So my stop is above this basically.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's the plan. So let's see what happens. I only have 3 micros, but already 300 in the money. So gold is very, very volatile. It's very nice to trade, especially if you have a small account. Okay, you can only trade 1 micro gold and you are making great money. So that's the setup for gold. And platinum is going well. So I'm waiting for 1890 first and potentially the trend line. But again, I am contained in this trade with the orange trend line. So we should continue selling off according to this. If we're breaking, now my stop is in the money. So worst case scenario, I'm making money on this trade, but I really want to let the price tell me when I should exit. And RTY also, I took the trend break on RTY. So we had a trend break here at 925, and I took it at the retest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I like the platinum one a lot. We had a lower narrow range on platinum, so it squeezed. It did that like big squeeze, like right like at around like what was it, 8:18, 8:20 in the morning. That took us right back to our L4, right where we would have wanted to get short. It never offered it after the market actually opened, but I was so wanting to get in on platinum, but I guess you get all the fun on that one.
We'll see.
That's a good one. Like
It's
I really
been
like that position.
dropping for the last week, like it's not going anywhere. So, but I think we made a new low now, did we? No, we're still in this region right here. So we have to lose 1914. You know, we've been holding this range, so we could go bounce and go back up again. That could be a range.
You know, there's something I like about this approach to the low that I didn't like on any of the other approaches to the low, and I think you'll know what it is, which would be the respect and touch of a certain moving average I've come to become obsessed with lately.
Yeah.
I really like that it basically consolidated until the 200 SMA came in. It gave it a little kiss, and since then it has been rocking to the downside. Also after a bit of a gap up too, like that one big candle in the middle of the chart, like that's a lot of move for very little price. So it seems like they got up there really high without a lot of volume, just to get into the right spot to wait for that 200.
So that trade on platinum, it's been my 3rd attempt. So last week I shorted the trend break, got stopped out, shorted again, got stopped out. No, shorted again here. Sorry. So short here, short at the retest of the trend line, got stopped out on Sunday because we gapped crap for no reason and we are going back down anyways. But last night when I saw that candle, that 1 hour candle rejecting the 200 SMA, I took the new low as my entry. That was so beautiful.
So beautiful.
I'm so happy I got back in because now could be the time where it melts. Thank you guys. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So many happy birthdays. So.
Yeah, party in Florida this year. Let's go.
For real.
And yeah, that's it for me, I guess. What is NQ up to? Oh, NQ. Look at you breaking the
NQ melted.
Wow.
I'm in ES still, and it's just chopping this, like, but we've been selling this whole time, like all down tick, like all staying under, like it looks like we're distributing here.
And look at the double top on ES on the news, right?
Yeah, it was perfect. So that's what got me in. I got in right off the double top.
Trading does not have to be hard. If you are digging to find a setup, it's not a good setup. A good setup is in front of your eyes. Clear.
Yeah, that double top basically that happened was like the H4 was at 75.66. So it happened right up near one of my favorite levels to look for in a higher or in this range, because we're in a lower range. So if we were going to break out, like, nah, I didn't think so then. So it worked. I'll take it.
Yeah, so I think the wide range can give you conviction of going for the double top, not breaking out today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these setups are easy. They're great. They're not hard. Okay, so the only advantage for me of all-time highs after all-time highs is that we create new highs. And as soon as we get a pullback and we go back to that high, we get ready to short the crap out of it. I'm talking to the bears here, okay? I'm a bear, and it's very hard when the market is making new highs, right?
Little Traders Anonymous moment. Hello, everybody. My name is Tori Young. I'm a bear.
Yeah.
Interesting about crude has a call right now.
So NQ reversing. So for me, NQ, I would more align myself with selling a rally than buying, because we are sentiment-wise, of course, we're trending up. Okay, I'm not saying so. Bigger picture, it's very bullish. We all know that. But here for today's session, we broke this upward steeper movement. We lost a support level, and now we are stuck in this rectangle. So we could chop here, but for me to be bullish, we need to break and hold above 75.40 for ES. Sorry, I thought I was watching NQ. NQ, same thing. I would wait for a pullback up, like selling a rally on NQ, because we are losing PDC. We are losing the trend that has been going on since Tuesday, May 19th. So we have this upward trend line. We lost that. So I would favor shorting maybe a pullback to trend, but I would not go long personally. I mean, it could work, okay? Market goes up, down, and sideways, but I always prefer to choose a side, which is 80% of the time the bear's side. But in this specific context, I would really go more short than long. Not necessarily right now. You need to have a setup, but that's the idea.
I agree. Also, like most of our volume is on the downtick today, so we're selling today. Today's a sell day. So now we can't squeeze during a sell day, but again, you're going to want to be in the direction of the price whenever we're doing these things. You're going to waterfall a lot better than you're going to climb today. So you want to stay in alignment with that.
I like how we broke trend, came back, rejected the trend, the 9 EMA, so the momentum is to the downside. We respect the 9 EMA, respect. So the 9 EMA has been respected very well. We also have this light purple downtrend since the news, okay? So we've been following this angle so far. So yeah.
Check out crude right now. What do you think here? We have a cam call that just happened for a potential short at 91.15 would be the short call.
Yeah, well, for me, we need to lose these two lines though. But yeah, I like it. I really like this short on crude potential. Just testing back the 91, but we have to stay below these two guys though. If we squeeze above 91, it's not a good trade. It's not ready. Okay, when I say it's not a good trade, maybe it's just not ready yet. So the break of this movement would be the most conservative entry, because then you lose the two levels. But you could try it here and put your stop at the high, just trying it early. If the candle closes inside of 91. But 91 is a very important level. Also on the 5-minute chart, you have the 200 SMA sloping down, and the price seems to be respecting it right now. So guys, we can use the 200 SMA as a sentiment on your chart, especially
I
on
love the 200.
Yeah. On every time frame it works so well. It's very good on higher time frame because then you know that market participants, well, there's more of them because it's a higher time frame, and you know that it's a sentiment indication. So people buy above the 200 and sell below the 200. Again, if we're very extended, we might look to go back to it like PL did, and still we're waiting for the indices to do the same. But if you are close to the 200, it's a great spot to take a trade.
Oof, there goes some selling into ES.
Let's go. So if we're selling on indices, crude, and crude is still trending above the 9 EMA. So it's also, guys, if you struggle to find a good entry criteria, you can have your party area. So here on crude, it's the 91 level. And you can just wait for the momentum to be over with. So you need a body close on the other side of the 9 EMA, and that could help you in waiting for the momentum to be on your side. It doesn't mean it will work, but it adds a confirmation to your trading idea.
So Humorous was asking Dr. V, do you adjust an existing trend line that has been respected multiple times if the price went through it, or do you view it as invalid? Like, do you move it this trend line to a new price point?
So yeah, if we take this example right here on crude, if we go here, the only information I had at this point was this pullback, okay? So we pulled back on the 9 EMA, we had a little reaction, then we went higher. So because we made a new high, so this will be my second touch on the trend line. That's the only information I have. Now I need to wait for the market to give me more information. So if we go back, advance in price. So now I need to adjust it because we made a new high in this region. Okay. So now this will be my new trend. And if we continue this way, okay, if we don't take the low and we keep making higher highs, I will then branch like this. Okay, let's say that we pull back, we make a new high. This will be the branch of my trend line. So always adapting to the market with your trends. And a trend line, it's like any other level. It's just the idea of having like the directional, index, like are we going up, are we going down? But it doesn't mean that it will be respected to the T every time. Okay, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So it's important to adjust it, because what's the most important concept that I've read in my technical analysis journey is that the price has to be contained inside of it. If price is poking through the trend line, it's not a good trend. Don't suffocate your price action with it. Okay, let the trend grab everything inside. Yes, go Habs, go. We need to win tonight. Jeez.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So what is RTY doing right now? So RTY is following trend beautifully. Okay, first touch, second touch. Now it looks like it wants to make a third touch. So if it's the third touch of the trend, then we should lose the level and go lower. So my next level on RTY would be 28.95. And then we have the trend line.
I went ahead and took a try on the CL short. So
great.
I've got this ES short working very nicely. So I'm actually like not risking a lot of money on this one because it was so close to the level. But if we get a little squeeze, I'll get out of this. But I like this call. I like this call. I'm all kinds of short ES right now, and it's starting to sell more. So that makes my crude.
How many are you in?
Actually, I'm just in 2, which on ES is decent, but I'm in from 75.61. So I've got a really decent distance on this one. So let me I'll show everyone my trade real quick. I will go yoink and yoink. So you guys can see here. So I really, I've been really using the 1 hour chart a lot more. It just, for me, it's actually been helping me a lot to kind of, when I'm looking at my trailing or how I'm in, I can see like, oh man, look, if it's just a new 1 hour high, you know, it actually kind of helps you a little bit. And so I've been liking this, and I've taken this from watching V a lot. So you can see here in the morning, we'd already established a top. And then when the news came out, look how quickly we ran through. I mean, it's just a rip on the news. So when it topped there and came back in, I went in at the range, stop above the high, and that's it. I've just been ever since. So I'm basically just, at this point, I just put my stop above high of day, and I've just been camping like to see what happens with it. So we just finally broke our IB low, V. So this gives us a little bit of a bonus here for the continued sell. So we'll see what happens.
So CL as a target, I mean, you could go as low as 84.46 on this. Because if we lose 90, if we lose around 90.40, which is the trend line that I have, if we lose that trend line, we could go, I mean, you could hold this trade to lower.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think this is a really nice spot for CL. So
oh yeah, 91 is a beautiful level, and it's very easy because if we squeeze above it, it's not valid anymore. It's so 91 is such a great level. I don't know. I didn't see. I'm gonna share real quick because I want people to see.
Yeah.
I didn't adjust my trend line. Okay, I promise it was there before. So look at the bounce on the trend line for CL on the 1 hour chart. Isn't it crazy or what?
This is why I've been liking the 1 hour so much. It's the 1 hour chart for me it's my new favorite chart. I've always been looking for a higher time frame chart. 1 hour is it for me. I love it.
It depends, because when it's really choppy, you need the 4 hour. So I will go back and forth sometimes between the 1 and the 4, because sometimes the 1 is too messy. But in this case, I mean, it's clean. And you had another trade when we broke trend. So we went up, broke trend here, another beautiful short. Then I would have an opposing trend line like this and stay inside as soon, I mean, as long as they keep trending be inside of this line, I would be short, basically. So beautiful play on CL. And CL is in play right now with all the news. There's no peace, and we don't know. So I'm thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Brian, you're awesome. So the milestone that we're talking about is that we have broken 1,000 subscribers. So woohoo! So we streamed out the morning session for some, so you could kind of check out what we do inside of Market Alchemists every morning. So as kind of a thank you for that, and we appreciate you. So make sure you're liking and subscribing, and awesome. But every Wednesday, V and I, 11 to 12, we do this combination of Back to the Future / Brains Day action. I guess we try and get it all in here with the amazing, incomparable Dr. V.
So,
I love making you laugh.
Speaking of uncomfortable and Brains Day, when I was like taking my PL trades, it was very frustrating. Okay, to have the trade not working 2 times before this, and it makes me again learn every day that I don't get to control what the market wants to do. Of course, it's very frustrating, but I really need to again work on the art of just not caring. I don't care when my profits, because the thing that is painful, I guess, is that every time I was in the money for my trades. Okay, the first trade I was $2,000 in the money. The second trade I was 2,500 in the money. And seeing the profit evaporating every time is very, very, very painful. But again, if I take my profits, then I'm not following my plan, which is I want to catch the trend. That's why I like swing trading, because you can catch beautiful trends. But the time it will take you to catch it, sometimes it's weeks. Okay, I made like 40% of profits this month, but in like a week. The rest of the month was kind of, now it's getting back into trending mode, but I didn't make money this month a lot the other weeks because I was stuck in this kind of price action. All right, so again, I'm learning. I've been swing trading for the past, 6 weeks, I think, maybe 2 months now. So I really enjoy swing trading, but the part where you see your profit growing and then disappearing is heart aching a lot. It's but I'm building my skin. I want a thicker skin, and I don't want to change anything, but that messed up with my brain. And on Sunday when I saw that gap, so I was hearing that we were like coming to an agreement this weekend, and I'm like, I'm all kind of short in the market right now. Like I love peace, don't get me wrong, but I'm very short everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really think the one of the things I've learned as I've been going through this is that the market rewards delayed gratification.
Oh, it does.
And the more you are willing to delay the gratification, the better you're going to do. Because I was thinking of it like as long as like I was even thinking like back in 2018 and 19, I just thought about all the times I was like trading MU, and MU is like at $30 freaking dollars, and now it's at like $1,000 or something, right? Like, but that would be 10 years ago, or 8 years ago. Right. So that I was trading MU. So maybe 7.5, 8 years ago for MU. But still, like talk about if I had just bought that and held on to it. Well, delayed gratification, right? I would have quite a bit of money in MU if I had just held that position all the way till now. So, and it's kind of like swinging is kind of like that next level from investing. It's slightly less delayed gratification, then down to day trading, which is less, and then scalping, which is even less. There's so much more. Right. So, and I think the closer you get to the lesser side of that, the actual less efficient and the harder trading truly becomes, technically, like scalping and all these other things. You really don't make a lot of money because you're not getting rewarded. There's no delay.
But also you need a very high win rate. What I really like about
Beyond high.
Yeah, what I like about this is that I don't have a big win rate. I have a lot of break evens, but when it goes, it goes. And TradeZilla said that this week to me. So my report said that I had a very good psychology at holding during pullbacks. So like something like that. So I was like, yay!
It loves me,
But it's a different psychology. And if I want to do this, I need to toughen up. And I need to be ready for the market to stop me out, reverse on me, and unrealized profits are not realized. So I really need to pay attention also to but we are humans, right? So, but we get attached to the number. We're like, oh, I'm $2,000 in the money right now on PL.
I was going to say exactly that word, attached. Right? You can't become attached to your unrealized, because if you do, as soon as you start to see the numbers go the other direction, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, the money, it's going away. And then you're out, and then it runs without you, and then you're pissed.
Yeah.
So, and I'd rather let it run. I'd rather just, I'm actually better at giving it back than I am at watching it go without me. That triggers me.
So there you go. It's choose your heart, because I think this month I saw like close to 20 grand evaporating before my eyes. Okay, I lost 20 grand. Okay, I didn't lose it because it was not mine. Okay, it was unrealized. But again, if I take the profit as soon as I see $1,000, what kind of trading is that? It's not what I try to do. So I follow the plan, and my target is just a bigger target. So now I'm watching this region, you know. So I cannot say, oh, I'm $2,000 in the money, I'm gonna close my position, because if it goes there, I will be so pissed. So
Exactly.
so choose my heart for me would be, well, the market squeezes and I get stopped out here and I make, I don't know, like $700 on this. But at least I followed the plan, and that's the best reward that you can get, following the plan, because this is how you make money. That's the secret sauce. Okay. I have a question because I have to go. I have a question on CL. So CL, it bounced. Do you adjust the trend line?
I'm out of my ES position, by the way, and CL is melting.
Yeah, CL is beautiful. So now CL will potentially break this trend. So that's beautiful. I wish I had buying power. Jesus, the small account is hard. I mean, you wanna trade everything, and you're like, no, you can't. You don't have any buying power.
No.
So CL, I will not adjust my trend line unless we make a higher high. So if we squeeze back up and go higher, now this will be the new touch point, the new trend line, if that makes sense. All right, so guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Prepare your questions. If you have questions for me, since we don't have the full hour today, give them to Tor, please, and I will see you next week, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out. A very, very happy birthday, and excited for birthday celebrations.
Okay.
Pop some bottles.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye. Oh, what is going on, everybody out there in YouTube? So I am out of the ES trade. It made the new low, and then it pulled back up. When it made the new low, it should have just tanked there. It didn't. So I'm up like 3,500 on the position. So I went ahead and cut that bad boy. I am now in crude, short crude on a cam call. And I really wanted this one because it was a real cam call. And there are some things I really like about this. One, V showed you there was a trend line alignment, which I really liked. But I also like that we actually have a monthly cam here. So we have monthly L3 is sitting right here, right? So with monthly L3 right here, I really wanted to give this one a shot. So you can see we pulled up, we were buying. And then notice as we went up and hit the level, we really didn't increase our buying. And then so, I mean, this was just such a sweet little wick and an indecision right off the level. Couldn't close the level. So I went in, stops right above the high. No problem. So at this point, we've broken the low. We should not resweep the high. So I'm okay with moving to a small profit. And we will lock in right there and see what we can get. So got 2 trades today going. So I'm pretty excited about this. So let's see if we can have ourselves a good day. I would go back to like the central pivot or maybe a little bit up. I wouldn't expect too much out of today's rally on NQ. I think it could chop around a lot more. I think crude offers us a really nice opportunity. That's kind of why I wanted to try this one. But if this doesn't work, I will not take any more trades today. This will, because I don't like taking a bunch of trades. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So what I do is I overtrade when I win, right? Basically I have what I call like a circuit breaker. So, and that is losing 2 trades. Right. So if I take my first trade and it's a loser and I lose my second trade, I will stop trading for the day almost every day. Very rarely I can technically go up to 4 losses. But what I have found is generically anything over 2, it's basically because the market conditions don't really fit and I'm just trying to force myself. So on the days the market's really my market and I can read the price action well, and the market's really respecting the levels I like to use, those are the days I'll push. So I liked the ES short, but this CL crude was in a perfect spot. I love how we closed just under the level. And then on this candle, we opened, offered the level, and then sold like crazy. We then came all the way back up to the level, offered the level, and then sold away. It was just such a really nice spot to try and get in. And knowing we had a bit of a trend line here also. So we got that from Dr. V. So you can if you zoom out here a little bit, you could go from here to here. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, wrong level. Oh, I did a level. See, it wasn't even near there. So I don't know how she got to hers, but she had one drawn in. She does them better. Maybe it was because it started from here and came in, but it was like right there. So anyway, I had a cam. I need to put my monthly on here. There we go. Let's offset this to like 25. There you go. So you can see the monthly levels right there. Bink, bink. I liked this one a lot. Target right now. Yeah, I think ATR low is reasonable for now, because that's where our low is at. So we'll stick it at the low, right? Because that's the thing. I know it seems like it's a lot to ask, but pre-market low is right here. You know what I mean? And that was our, so, and then we opened and then we wicked down to there and then rallied back to here. We basically just swept this high to hit the level, and now we're back down. That's fun. I went ahead and took the ES position off. I know it can go lower and it's a narrow range, but when we sold down here and we pushed, I just kind of, every now and again, I'll make this, it's like kind of the soul tax here. Like, how long am I willing to stay in this position to get the little extra distance I'm looking for? And for me, since we're at a support after basically running most of the ATR on NQ, I just don't think there's enough here for me to hang. So I'm okay with just taking the 30. It's like $3,500 on that one, so that I can then focus in on CL. I don't like carrying two positions at the same time if I can avoid it. And since the potential on that one ran out a little bit for me, I like and the CL one looks so juicy. This is where I wanted to put my money. So, and the other thing I like too is, where on earth? We're almost to the 200. How is ATR low and high indicator called and traded? It's called the adaptive ATR limits, and they're free, but they're by us, but they're not ones we charge for. Don't know if that matters to you or not. So we got ourselves a sweet little short going on here on crude. ES is going to go, though. That's okay. If this goes to L6, will it be a double IB break? Is that on crude? Are we talking about there? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not short MCL. I'm short CL. And we are selling now also. Yeah, US Iran peace deals. We had a nice little squeeze back up. Yeah, this is great. Let's see if we can get back to the low by the end of the day. So, let me ask you a question. What would you do if someone created an indicator and that indicator at any point in time throughout the day would tell you when to get into a position, and it would do it with this kind of accuracy? What would you think of that indicator? Would you think it's pretty awesome? Just asking for a friend. Right? No? So we are back inside. We're not a very talkative group today for 97 people watching. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on, people? Like, we have to make sure too, like when we have these Dr. V sessions, like we have to make sure like we're hanging. Ooh, look at this squeezy. We got to make sure we're we got to make sure we're using these times, and really, if not, we'll just keep her behind the paywall. That was one heck of a buy there. ES is going to sell. We have the IB stat on our side here for the ES. Like, I think ES runs out the bottom. Yeah, we do make her. It's this one. So we're going to come back and offer the IB high, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be an enticement move. If we buy through this, like I said, I'm not going to stay in this. If this runs up to the top side, I'll be out of it. But this was a perfect area for a breakdown on crude. Oh, I wouldn't go long here. I still like the idea of being short. I'm short right now on crude. So we're going to test a level. So IB high is here, and then there's this guy right here. So you can see how we set, there's an order here, right? And then we came back and offered the order. We offered it again. We then came and sold through it. We're now going to come back to it, and then we'll see what happens here. Right. So this can be just a really fast offer right back to this order. But if we buy this order again, we're up. You know what I mean? Because look at how fast, like, this is buying. That's pretty genuine. So no good. Oh, there goes ES. Dang. Ugh. Beautiful. Back to selling. Stinker. All right. Well, I'm going to stay in my position here. If it comes back up and runs through the stop, I'll take profit. We'll make a little bit of money. Otherwise, again, I don't want to smother this because this is a really good position. Ooh, interesting. So you're saying there's a chance. We'll see what happens. They're going to offer the 9 from the top side. So this candle's pretty important, right? We've got 8 seconds till it closes. If this closes on top of the order, it won't be too bearish. So it's still closed on top of it, but it was a low closing candle considering the amount of volume that came in. So I like my stop location. If this runs this high, I'll get out. I'll let it bump the level. And then if it comes back under, maybe I try it again. But I like where I'm at right now. This is a good spot. If we buy off of this level, we'd probably go run the high. So I like the idea of getting out here. I like it a lot. Crude's a party, man. It can be a difficult one to grab sometimes, but when it works, it is a good trader. I love having the monthly level here. I really like this ticker in general. Like, this feels like a pretty good short to be in, but we'll see what happens. Again, we bought back to this level. So let's see if we can lose it again, then that would be pretty amazing. That would probably be very weak. And we'd go back to the 200 maybe. But you can see the 200 is very important to CL. So we'll keep an eye on it. How do the Qs look to you? How do the Qs look? I would stay short all day long. I would go for like 720. So if you're an SQQQ, I would just stay for H6. Or go back to the monthly level, basically. Like, look at this chart right now. That is blood red, right? Like, there's no reason to expect this to turn around. Stay in. Just hold it. Like, it's going to make a new 1 hour low here in a little bit. At least until this thing, like maybe a new 1 hour high, right? Like, if this comes all the way back up and buys L3, okay. But I mean, you've got the IB stat. Right? QQQ closes on the side of its IB, like I'd say at least 7 out of 10 times. So there's very little chance that you're going to break the 200, buy the CP, buy H3 and run out the IB high all the way up here. Like, not happening. I would stay short. Which is sad to say, because if QQQs are a short, then that means crude probably squeezes me out. But there's nothing we can do about that, right? We just trade the chart we've got. Crude's a beautiful short here. So I don't care. This is the weird thing. Like, I don't care if ES is buying or NQ. I just trade the chart that's in front of me. Because what I found is once I started trying to think about, well, if this does this, when this does this, I just end up beating myself up and missing opportunities. Like I would not be shocked to see NQ and SPY do a bit of a squeeze technically. And if that happens, crude will probably just tank. But, you know, I mean, it's hard to imagine that crude was $20 higher than this not that long ago. But we were quite overpriced for the old Texas tea. So, and I think with all of the peace deals, I think we're starting to see a lot of the forward contracts are starting to trim out a little bit because they're going to expect crude prices to drop, not go up. So crude's a particularly nice short, and I like playing crude right now because it's in play. You know, but because it's in play, you got to be careful with it because, you know, you have to really be careful with your stops because crude can have, you know, you may want to try micro crude if you're new to it. Start off with just like 3 or 4 micro crudes because one full-size crude, you know, you can put a hurting on your account if you're not quite careful with it. Why? Why do I think my indicator is accurate? Trade Rewind TV. Can I ask you a question? What all would you have needed to get into this position on crude? Would you have needed volume to get into this position? So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like this is I'm showing you a valid signal right now. Right? It went right up, it tagged the level, it alerted, it said there's a trade here, it showed you the entry window, stop above high of day. Easy. Right? I like using it, you know, I like using volume because it will keep you, the problem is trade is that you can't take every call. If you could take every single call and then you held every single call for its ATR run or its furthest cam, you would crush. But nobody, including myself, is capable of taking every single call, and in no system will every call work, right? So in order to make sure that you don't get beat up, you know, by the calls that don't work, right? That's why the volume, right? Because that allows me to decipher which ones I think have more of a potential to work or not work, right? So exactly like AMD today, right? AMD today is a ticker that is clearly selling today, right? In the volume, we can see completely selling, right? So we approached it while it was selling and had no exhaustion. We had one moment when we started to buy, and that was right here. Right, but at that point we had moved too low and we have killed the play, so we won't recall. Right, that's too low. Right, so the selling here helps you out. Like on crude, on crude as we pushed into the level, right, we had been buying and we had been buying for quite a while. Right, so what I read on here was a little different. Is this dotted line here? This is that area where we kind of get to what we consider to be like higher level or high buying, and above it's exhaustive. But what I noticed here is every time you got to the high buying area, we would sell. Every time we got to the high buying area, we'd sell, right? And then we got up to here, we pushed all the way up to the high buying area, and we were right there. But with all the high buying, we couldn't move up. And then in this instance, this is the one I really liked. As we pushed up and made the higher high, we actually made a lower high in the volume. So we deviated. We actually made higher highs, but we didn't bring in more volume to do it. And that's that struggling volume I'm looking for a lot. And then we got the call. So I went short. Now you could have waited for it to start selling, right? It started offering selling like right here. So you could have waited for it to completely go into selling, which would have been a short right here at that low, right? And then put your stop up above this ridge, up above that high, whatever. Same thing, right? So I just like that we were at the level, and it's, you know, again, we're all the way at L4, and it's a narrow range. So it's an outside day. There's no expectation to go back into the range today. So I love the idea of getting to the edge of the range. We knocked on the door and got kicked back outside. So that's a fun trade. I like this one. Good times. Now we just hang on. And see how far this thing can go. Oh, my pleasure, Comey. So this is one of the more of the nuanced reads, right, on it, Comey. So it's the thing that the buying and selling detector can really help you out with too, is it can help you read deviations, right? So this was like my big, so when I was learning to read VPA, right, one of the things that's interesting is you have advancing volume, you have stopping volume, right? And then you have struggling volume, right? Advancing, stopping, struggling, right? And so the struggle is one of the easier ways to spot. And for me, the easiest way to spot a struggle is when we have upward movement, right? But that movement is done with lowering volume, right? So we have the deviation. Our volume goes down as our price goes up, right? So you can see that here because our price was here, and then we moved up in price, but our volume actually stayed lower, right? So we had this deviation, right? So we went higher, but we actually ended up lower in volume. So this showed that struggle for me. So I went short there because I had the call, and then we dropped. So you kind of read that absorption, if you will, right? I need to line these up. There we go. There, that's better. Cool. Do you also consider it a struggle if the deviation was 30 minutes apart, or that's a little subjective, but yes. I mean, if we're making higher highs, but as we make those higher highs, you see a significant reduction in volume, then yeah. Of course, of course. All right, everybody. Well, it is coming to the conclusion of today's show. I hope everybody enjoyed Market Alchemists today and coming by for a little, we kind of streamed the open. We did a lot today and hanging out. We had Dr. V on. Remember Dr. V every Wednesday now. So make sure you're coming by and hanging out with us, especially on those days. If y'all have any questions, you can always find us, www.marketalchemists.org. You can also come by our Instagrams. All of that here is down at the bottom of the Chiron down here in the lower end. You'll see there's a little at Thor Young MA, at Thor Young there. So make sure you come by, say hi, and if you need anything, let us know. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day, and I'll talk to you later. Keep it green, people. Much love, and talk to you later.